Hi there, join me in this video when I'm going to do some coastline bird photography. I'm here at the moment on Thurston Beach in the Wirral, and I've come here specifically to photograph birds on the water's edge because I've heard that there's lots of possibilities here, so I'm really excited to see what I can see. And then a little bit later I'm going to relocate a little bit further up the estuary to RSPB Parkgate, which is a big area of marshland, and I've tried to coincide being here with the high tide. That's due in about 2 hours, and so I'm going to spend a little bit of time here because I can already see quite a few birds out on the edge of the water, so I'm going to take some photographs of those, stay here for about an hour, then relocate down for the high tide at Parkgate. So come along with me because I know that I'm really going to enjoy my photography. Now, as I've arrived at the shoreline, all the birds that I saw as I was coming down the steps seem to have vanished. I recorded my opening piece to camera, and in that time they've all gone. Now, there are quite a few people on the beach, so I would have thought that they're fairly used to people being about, so that shouldn't have scared them off. But at the moment, the stretch of water I'm stood by is completely barren of any bird life. So what I've tried to do is give myself a bit of space between the nearest people on the beach. In that direction, the people are about 300 meters away, and probably about the same in the other direction. And so I've also come and stood at the bottom of this cliff behind me, so I'm not on the edge of the water, just in the hope that some birds might feel brave enough to come and start feeding at the edge of the water, but so far I've not seen anything. Now, I've just had a flyover from 200 or 300 geese. I can't quite tell what they were. They're probably either grey lags or Canada geese, but they looked like they were heading in the direction of Burton Mere, which is another RSPB site not very far away from here. But I've got a few photographs of those and some video, but I think that's possibly all I'm going to get from here on the beach. I've come to the steps that lead me off the beach, so what I've decided to do is what these people are doing here and go back to the car and relocate to RSPB Parkgate, because there are people further down this beach. I could continue for quite a long while, but I've still got no guarantee of seeing anything. So I think the best idea now is a relocation and see if I can see anything further along the estuary. I'm very nearly back at the car, but just in this field behind me, I did manage to just get a photograph of a thrush. So that's probably going to be the best thing that I've got from here by the beach, but at the field near the car park. Now, if this is your first time visiting the channel, you can do me a really big favour by clicking the like, subscribe and the bell notifications, because that way you stay up to date with all of my future content, but it really helps out the channel as well. And you can also help support me by becoming a member of the channel. If you click the join button down below, you'll find out all the perks that are available for becoming a member. I've arrived at Parkgate, but I don't think I'm going to get any great photographs here. I was told that I was guaranteed to see a hen harrier, and I have actually seen one straight away, but it is so far away. If it wasn't for another birder with a big scope, I would have never seen it at all. So I've got some video of it, but I really don't think, even if I zoom in on the video, that you'll be able to see much of it. But there was also a marsh harrier a little bit closer that I got on video as well. But again, that is so far away. You can see how expansive these marshes are behind me, and I'm leant against a wall, and this is as far as I can get into the marshes. So unless something comes a little bit closer, like a couple of egrets and a grey heron did a few minutes ago, I'm not going to get any great pictures. So I can stand here for a little bit of a while we've still got light. I've probably got another 2 hours worth of light. I'm going to weigh up whether I stay here or try a different location, but I'm running out of possibilities at the moment. So I might get something else, because there are some birds about, there are some gulls, so I might be able to get some gulls in flight flying over me, and maybe just leave it at that. Maybe I should tempt fate a little bit more often, because as soon as I'd finished filming that last piece saying that I might not see very much, a marsh harrier took off and came really quite close. So hopefully I've got 1 or 2 fairly good photographs there, and that might make the day. The town of Parkgate here behind me was once a really bustling port in the 18th century, and people used to leave here to go to Ireland. But the silting up of the river has stopped that, but it's provided a really rich environment just here for birds, especially during the winter. And the reason it is so bustling with wildlife is for every cubic metre out there on the marshland, there's 4,160 calories of food available. That's the same as there is in 16 Mars bars, and it's mainly due to all the worms and snails that are available. In that 1 cubic metre out there on the marshlands, it's possible to find 45,000 worms and 5,000 snails. Wow, and that's just amazing. So it's no wonder why birds from all over the Arctic fly down here to feed on this amazing resource. Large flocks of waders and wildfowl can be found out on the flats, such as oyster catchers, dunlin and redshank. Now, despite what this video looks like, it's getting quite dim. There are cars behind me, believe it or not, in the town with their headlights on. So I think I'm going to call it a day. But what I'm going to do now is I'll leave you with some of my favourite shots from this morning. The person that I talked to that recommended coming to Parkgate was a bird watcher, and I've come to realise today that this is a spot that is so much better for bird watchers than bird photographers, because the birds tend to be so far away from where you can actually get access to that it's great for seeing them. it's not so great for photographing them. But I still think I've got some reasonable photos, and hopefully when I get home and put them in the computer, I will be able to blow them up and get some reasonable shots. And you will have already seen them anyway, so you'll know what they were like. So I've had a really enjoyable day. It was worth coming. Now, after talking to a few other bird watchers, I did come for the high tide, but I think I would have been a little bit better off a little bit earlier when the water was a little bit further out to give me a little bit more beach so that it didn't bring the birds quite so close to all the people. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed that video, and if you have, let me know down below in the comments, or nip over to my Instagram or Vero account, that's at Dee Estuary Photography. Leave me your comments there, and you can also see lots of my photographs. Now, if you like what I do on the channel and you want to help support me to make future content like this, then you can leave at the gift shop. That's at Teespring. There I've got a range of merchandise on offer, so head off over there because a purchase really does help me out and it's very much appreciated. Now, also don't forget, you can support me financially by becoming a member. So click the join button down below to see a short video that explains all the perks that are available. But you don't have to spend any money at all to support the channel. You can do that simply by clicking the like, subscribe and the bell notifications. It really helps me out, but it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. Watch out for next week's video. That goes live on Sunday. In the meantime, go and check out this video just up here. But all that's left now is to say, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.